Hey, this is Rich Knapp with LYNX CF Innovations. Today we're going to do a quick change on the frame, their carbon fiber frame on the 450X. I had some setup issues and it was my fault, and I ended up crashing. The first time I blew tail blade and I landed okay. I just cracked the landing skid. I glued that, and next flight it was my fault. It was an icon setup issue. I did it wrong. I've learned my mistakes. I've corrected them as far as for what I need to do. So I'm gonna go. I know I promised the heavyweight carbon fiber frame, but we're gonna go back with the lightweight 3D frame. You know, that way I can do a fair and honest review on it. It wasn't fair. You know, I mean, the way I crashed, your normal 3D guys would not crash like that. And the type of crash that would take out this frame, it would take out any frame. You know, for a 3D guy. You know, my crash, it was sideways. It was onto hard packed clay ground. Yeah, it had 1 inch of grass for a buffer, but that don't buffer much when you're on hard packed clay. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to do the lightweight 3D LYNX frame and give a proper review on it. I'll get proper setups. I know what I did wrong with my setup. I know what I did wrong with my tail blades. So I'll be able to give an honest review this time around. What we're going to do though is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a real quick change on the frame. I have this canopy mount on yet. I'll be taking that off before I show the actual quick change. But the quick change frame on this, you know, you do one side at a time. You can leave all your wiring right there, your motor, everything. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, first thing you want to do is you want to loosen your boom and bring it ahead. That way your belt tension is loose and you're loose on your blocks for your tail drive pulley there. And a brand new shaft, I inserted it through my bearing blocks. I can't make it through the third at this point because my frame is tweaked, but I have it through my first two. Now the next step is going through and I'm starting out with the side with the least amount of zip ties for my wiring. I'm going to pop these zip ties. It's just the zip ties from that hold the wiring to the frame. Unplug my satellite, which is going through the frame. Me and my fat fingers. Feed that back through. Now you're ready to go next step, which is just removing all the screws for the frame. You know, the other side of the frame is all tight. We're just going to remove the screws on this side. And they're all the same size, so I pretty much always just put them off to the side there. But now this will allow you to leave all your electronics hooked up. Alright, now that you got all your screws removed, you can remove all the busted parts, which is my stiffener. And then you just raise your frame right up off. See, everything stays right here. Here's the busted frame. Matter of fact, at this point, if you want to kind of check your wiring and maybe see a different way of zip tying it or something, it's a good time to do it. For me, it looks like everything's out of the way good. I think I might zip tie, no, I'll be alright. Now, all you need to do is take your good frame, just layer in. Tighten up your screws. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start some of these screws to hold it in place. And then I'm going to cut away. And then I'll come back with the installing of the other side. But you see how easy it was, you know, all the wiring was right there. And now you kind of do these sides just as if you did when you first assembled. You leave all the blocks loose. For the reason being that, actually you're not like all your screws, but you leave your blocks loose. That way we can straighten out the main shaft. Okay, I zip tied, you know, some of the wires that we're going through, you know, along with adding the satellite to my icon. As you see, I added the stiffener. I took these screws back out and added the stiffener. Now, I didn't zip tie any of my speed controller wires because I'm going to kind of reroute them a little bit. Now that I kind of did that, my shaft actually goes pretty much all the way down. Actually, it does go all the way down. My screws are still all loose, but now I'm thinking about going ahead and Loctiting them tight because everything lines up perfect. So I think I just might go ahead and Loctite them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop these and go from there. And I went through and I kind of, all the important screws on this side for the shaft and stuff, I went ahead and Loctited them because the shaft is lined up really good right now. So the next step is just cut the zip ties for the wiring on this side. Be careful not to actually cut your wires. Alright, just make sure when you do this side you kind of brace it because of your servo. Again, just take your badge frame off. Double check, like, you know, where all you want your wiring. Just put your new frame here. Oop. And start going to town on your screws again. Alright, so I went through and I finished up both sides, you know, with my zip ties and stuff too. You see how easy and quick that went, and everything worked all great. My shaft is nice and nice in there and everything. I went through and I did add. It took a little longer. I did add, you know, the heavy duty LYNX push arm there, and I went through and I sanded down my tail blades to make them fit in. They're a general width for all blade grips. So the ones I have the LYNX here, and they needed to be sanded down a little bit. I used my caliper and some sandpaper. I sanded them down. I balanced them. And I used, you know, my toothpick for the threads on the inside here, because LYNX don't use an outside nut. But I went through and I did do that on my first one, and that was part of why I threw a tail blade. I put them in there. They were a little bit tighter than they should have been. These are still a little bit tight, but I generally kind of run them a little bit tighter anyways, but this is a lot looser than what my other ones were, but they're a lot better. They're not super loose, they're not super tight. But yeah, I did that. Like I said, I added you know, my extra there. But yeah, you see how quick and easy it was to do a frame change. It's all done. All that's left is put my head on and you know, reline everything up there, and you know, I should be all good to go. You know, it's just what took more time today was, you know, I did you know, the tail blade, the tail blades and the push rod. But otherwise, that's, you know, the quick and easy way of, you know, just swapping out that frame. It works pretty good. I didn't have any issues. All my wiring was still there. I didn't have to rewire anything. Maybe you guys, you know, can try the same tip, you know, for doing a reframe, if you need to do a carbon fiber reframe on your 450 or even the 300X. It was pretty clean, easy, and straightforward. So, well, I'm going to finish up here. I'm hoping I can get a maiden in tomorrow. It all depends on the winds and stuff and field conditions. As you all know, you know, I got to be able to get out to the field in my wheelchair. Yeah, this is the again, the 3D extra light frame. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Again, the last one wasn't a fair review of it, so I just did this frame replacement, and I'm gonna give her a good fair review now that I know what I did wrong. So, okay, well, I'm gonna finish up and catch you all later. And I hope that was a nice little tip as far as for doing a frame change. Y'all have a good day and happy flying.